So if you come here on a scholarship and you have a STEM degree, you are in a best position by the end of your degree.
If you have to compare student life in India and USA, how would you compare it? Which one do you like better? And what are your reasons behind it?
Absolutely, US is way, way, way better. I'm talking just about academics uh, because of two things. One, my class size is 70, and they keep it that way intentionally because you have one-on-one time with the professor. So by the end of first semester, every professor knows our names, if you're in class or not, and they have office hours every day, so you can walk in and talk. So there is an access to the professor and these people. And the second thing is almost every professor that kind of teaches here has contacts in the industry. So if you really do well in their course, they will, and there have been people here who were not really doing great with the internship search. And one of the professors that knew them actually referred them and, landed them somewhere. So that is a very refreshing thing because not every professor here took a conventional route, did a PhD and got in. My marketing professor actually, he was on the board of directors for Coca-Cola. So those are the kinds of people that come in here. And the second, my campus, Terry College of Business, is a very new campus. It's been about 5 or 6 years since the new building is constructed. And the infrastructure is just amazing. The main difference between India and, this thing, not to shit on anything about education system in India, I'm a product of that, to be honest. But the main difference I would say is that everything you do here from day one is focused on where you want to end up. So from day one, your academic counselor schedules an appointment with you, schedules a meeting with you from day one, and kind of talks about what kind of jobs you want to get, or do you have any entrepreneurial goals, and then he suggests courses that are inclined to that. And the other best part is if you're in midway of a course and you think that you don't like it anymore, you can drop it and take another one. I mean, it is up to you to cover up the new thing. So there's no rigid course structure. There are basic core courses, but it's completely broadly open for you. And as far as Terry is concerned, they have an MBA STEM option, and they give scholarships to anybody who has a good profile. So if you come here on a scholarship and you have a STEM degree, you are in a best position by the end of your degree. So that's why I like this one better.
Okay, that's great. So you also got scholarship from your college. So can you elaborate on that a bit? How did you get this scholarship and how has it worked out for you so far?
I didn't apply separately. For MBA, mostly there are no separate scholarship applications. You get scholarships along with your admit. And then you negotiate if you want more, if you think you deserve more, etc. But you get scholarship with your admit. I didn't do anything special. And I had already, with my admit itself, they had given me everything that I have now. Full tuition waiver, that was a scholarship part. And then an assistantship, which would pay about $1,200 a month, and a cash reward, which pays $5,000 a semester. And when I say this in HP Houston office, I met other guys from different colleges. When I say this to people that, this is what I'm doing, they just cannot believe it because it is unbelievable. And it was for me as well, because I was planning on about 40-50 lakh loan to do MBA. And here these guys are literally paying me to study in their college. And that's so that's the scholarship part. And why they gave me a scholarship, I would say this, that about 40-50% of people got a tuition waiver here. And that is because, an example, ASU, Arizona State University, was a college that was ranked in about 40s and 50s for their MBA program. And about 5 years ago, they started giving full scholarships to everybody who got into the program. So the guys who would have gone to colleges that were ranked in 20s, like I got admit from Mendoza, which was my dream school, University of Notre Dame. But I didn't go there because expense was about 65-70 lakhs. And if you're like me, who don't have a very rich parents, that is not an option, especially in a COVID year. So scholarship really, put the nail on my head and said, go to UGA. So that's whatever happened with ASU 5 years ago is happening with UGA right now, is because people who have better admits are coming to UGA because of scholarship. And the funny thing is ASU is not offering scholarships anymore. So don't go to their website and try. They have lifted off scholarships a couple of years ago, and UGA ranking, as it goes up and it reaches, somewhere in the 20s, they might take off the scholarship as well because they have reached that goal. So whoever is planning for MBA, next 2 years is probably where you have a great shot at, full scholarship or free ride to US. So try it out. And how it has helped, living expense is a major factor here. I live in Athens. It's a town, and people who are living in Boston, for example, NEU, Northeastern University, I think is one of the go-to on Yocket. Like I see a lot of people discussing for MSCS, and the rents that are there near the college are just astronomical. $700 per month, $800 per month. So to cover that, like if I went to NEU, I would have done the same thing. So to cover that, people in NEU are living in a 2-bedroom apartment, 6 or 7 people sharing the apartment, and 2 people are living there unofficially. So whenever somebody comes to inspect, they have to leave the apartment, pack their luggage, hide it somewhere, and the inspection happens once in every 3 months. I cannot. So I am very lucky to have a scholarship, because if I didn't have scholarship, I would be doing the same thing. I'm very lucky to have the scholarship. So that's how scholarship helps. You can really focus on your studies and your job search without any pressure, because even if you don't get a job after MBA, you're free to just go back and start where you ended, with a degree from the US. That's how scholarship really helps, because it's not about repaying the loan, because 50 lakh loan, I've heard people repaying it in 1 year. So that's not the problem. The problem is the pressure that a 50 lakh loan puts on your head. You're not really going to enjoy any academic experience. So I think that's where Terry does very well. Terry as in University of Georgia, Terry College of Business. So if you have I think 320 plus and a 4+ year work experience in a known company, they'll be very interested in your profile.
So my final question to you is, I would like you to give 2 advices to all the students who are aspiring to be at a place where you are right now.
When you say advice, that makes me feel really old, which I'm not. So I'm just going to tell you my experience and things that I think would have helped me better had I known them before coming here. That's what I'm going to say. I'll say 3 things. First thing, please keep your parents informed that यहाँ पे सरकारी नौकरी नहीं लग सकती है, because you don't want to disappoint them. That's the fun part. And second, I would say always, if you get an admit from a college that is ranked 20, and you get an admit from a college that is ranked 40, that gives you a great scholarship, always go for something that is ranked 40. Because eventually, unless you're in Ivy League, nobody is going to come for on-campus placements. I've never heard of companies coming on campus and recruiting, especially international students. Companies come here as well, they recruit domestic students. So you're on your own as far as job search is concerned. So it doesn't matter where you are, but the money, keep the money in mind, because we lose track. Even I had lost track when applying. We make 3 ambitious, 3 moderate, like everybody else, right? And then eventually fees became a huge factor. So factor that in while you're applying as well. That would have helped me, maybe better, because there were other colleges that were offering good scholarship, and I had never applied to them because all I went with was the conventional 3 moderate, 3 ambitious, and that approach. So change that and factoring fees from early on as well. If you are rich, or if you have like a rich family, then forget everything. Just do whatever you want. And the second part is that before coming here, our college is very proactive. They reach out, the careers office reaches out to you, frames your resume. So get in contact with somebody who is already studying in the college, take their resume and make it in the format, so that you are ready when you come here to just click and apply. Because you will be applying in about 3 or 4 weeks time, and you don't want to feel like I just got here. The moment I got it, I didn't have my Wi-Fi set up. It took me to about 2 weeks, and there were my neighbors already applying for jobs. So you don't want to feel that way. So get your resume and all ready, so you can just come here and start applying. And there's always this discomfort, right? Especially when you're looking for a career switch. I was in strategy, and I'm getting into strategy, so it was not much problem for me. But if people are coming from IT, they want to get into finance using the MBA degree. So now you come in here, your classes haven't begun, and people have already started applying for jobs. You might feel very uncomfortable because you haven't really learned anything that is going to help you switch your career from IT to finance. So don't be uncomfortable with that, because as far as I know, the interviews in MBA, they know your background. So if somebody shortlists for you for an interview, they don't expect you to be finance geeks or anything. So just apply. One regret I have is that I had applied for less than 30 companies. And I know people who apply for 300, 400. just apply, right? If you find a job role, is fine, put those keywords in your resume and apply. And the final thing is that everybody goes for a quantitative resume, which means there should be numbers on every line, which is great. We all should do that. But the other important thing is that nobody manually reads your resume. There's a tool called ATS where they just screen your resumes, and then somebody looks at your resume. ATS is your fit. So what matters to that tool is that you have all the good keywords. So look at the job description you're applying for, take some keywords out from there, relevant ones, of course, and then dump it on your resume. That's one way to getting interviews faster.